Isn't that like sort of the plastic surgeons competing? Like that's like making the cakes in British Bake Off compete. It's like they're not the ones.
Except your girlfriend's
who
the
made
cake.
themselves.
True, yeah. Paul Hollywood doesn't jam his hand into the cake and shake it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well done, Brownie. What'd you call me? I was talking to the cake, actually.
Hey, what were you saying just now about my name? Never mind, it's gone, it's in the ether.
What sounds a lot like Quim.
What, my God?
Getting bullied by the 18th century children at school. Why, your name sounds like Quim. This is a name for a woman's part.
Uh-huh.
I always have trouble with, like historical dramas and things. And they're swearing. I always think, what? Because society was so restricted, like something set in the Victorian era. You think, do they even know swears? Like if you were like a lady, and you're sewing in your parlor, would you ever hear one? Like, how would you even learn them?
Your problem is that they're all dweebs. Is that why they don't know swear? They can't even swear, dude. You're like the year 6 amongst year 4s. yeah.
Less knitting, more swearing. But I genuinely, like, back then, was it like impossible to hear? Because there was no playground to learn them on.
Well, there was Gin Lane.
But then they're sort of...
You're pure Beer Street.
But they're refined ladies.
No, but wouldn't like one of the guys go to war and like meet people who are of a different rank and then bring back the words?
The guys would definitely go to like...
They'd like draw a picture of a boob
and
they'd
be
like, check this out.
Now, what do you call this, Jones? A tit, sir. Right. Very good, yes. Thank you.
Use it in a sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had a different question about historical dramas, though. I was thinking about this today. You know how we've been performing the plays of Shakespeare for like 500 years now? Like a long time.
Yeah.
And it's for the last
It's up there with Friends reruns on Channel
4. The most watched play again, Much Ado About Nothing. We need new plays, guys.
That's what made Elizabethan Netflix so popular, is they just reran all the Romeo and Juliet. No one thought that's why people would sign up. But like for the last 30 or so years, it's been pretty like people have constantly been sort of remaking Shakespeare plays in the sort of our modern sort of era. To have modern.
Thank you so much for mentioning that. 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming of the Shrew. Thank you very much. Anyone But You is Much Ado About Nothing. Next, Othello. No, it's based on Othello.
Isn't She's All That Taming of the Shrew?
She's All That is...
There's more than one shrew.
I would say She's All That. Wouldn't that be Pygmalion?
Succession's King Lear, innit?
There you go.
Maybe. It'd be funny if Pygmalion was just about making her hot. like he's just like, we're gonna make you sexy. It sort of becomes like Trini and Susanna vibe.
That reality show, The Swan, was just Pygmalion.
Wait, what's The Swan?
Oh my God, did you not know about The Swan?
You don't know The Swan?
They took a bunch of women and did loads of plastic surgery on them, and then they did a beauty pageant on the plastic surgeryed women.
Yeah. It was like one of the most sort of pre-lawsuits to reality TV shows ever
They took
conceived.
a bunch of ugly ducklings and turned them all into swans,
Absolutely.
and then they made the swans compete.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, who...
But isn't that like sort of the plastic surgeons competing? Like that's like making the cakes in British Bake Off compete. It's like they're not the ones.
Except your girlfriend's
who
the
made
cake.
themselves.
True, yeah. Paul Hollywood doesn't jam his hand into the cake and shake it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well done, Brownie. What'd you call me? I was talking to the cake, actually.
That's a good point. It's actually a big derby for all the plastic surgeons.
Yeah, that's what they're into. Yeah.
It's marketing.
They're on the sidelines. No, move quicker. It's got lag.
But isn't that what Love Island is? It's plastic surgeons competing.
What we're talking about is Turkey's Got Talent. It's just that's the talent.
Yeah.
But
Turkey's Got Talent. There's like one guy doing ice cream tricks just competing against the world's greatest plastic surgeons. He's got absolutely no chance. He's like, but Turkish Simon Cowell very boredly having a vanilla cone taken away from him. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Bring on the tits guy.
But I think Turkish Simon Cowell is just what Simon Cowell looks like now. He's evolved into Turkish Simon Cowell.
Maybe he's been there so much for surgery he has citizenship now.
no, it's
He's naturalized.
Well, he clearly...
Surely Pierre unnaturalized.
Yeah.
Well, Simon Cowell
Very
now
good.
doesn't have eyebrows, which suggests that the skin that's stretched over his forehead is now his eyelid skin.
God.
Oh,
yeah.
well, the
my
eyebrows
God.
have like retreated into his hairline, like Viet Cong going back into the jungle. They're actually waging a guerrilla war on his forehead.
He's not hard to impress.
Maybe he was really impressed by the ice cream man. Maybe it looks the same as all the plastic surgeons.
A man who was so surprised his eyebrows never
Yeah,
came
that was
back.
it. It was so good. That was it.
like a Achilles tendon going up.
Yeah.
They're up there now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I've gotten what's called the Turkish facelift, which is where I have a permanent crease on my forehead because I'm so surprised at the ice cream man. Still, I have no cone.
And that's how they do the surgery, like with the ice cream cone on his head, just like dipping it in and moving it around every time. You're like, oh, get me.
The Botox syringe on that stick.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Ah.
They hit the plunger, but then it's like the plunger of a needle full of hair, and you're just laughing, and then you fall over.
The Turkish face surgery, I mean, the results are good, but let me tell you, I had my reservations when they strapped me to that rotating spit and got out that 4-foot-long knife.
God, look. That's how
Oh,
the liposuction
Milo.
works.
Okay, if you had to get like a super freaky plastic surgery on yourself, what would it be?
Hmm.
It can't make you look better.
Okay.
Oh, it's got to be like 30.
Yeah, like those vibes.
But not like a
Mhm.
botched one, like a deliberate, I want
Like a
horn.
deliberate one, but you want to maybe see like the sort of the limits of a human body.
Well, those people who put horns in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the
Mhm.
split
Really?
tongue people.
Okay, so
The
those are
double
yours?
tongue.
What's the
no,
horn
no,
made
heavens
of?
no.
What's the horn?
So you
made?
could lick 2 clits at the same time.
I feel like it would really. Never mind.
That's his big
With
issue.
two women who are very
That's-
close together.
Are you a man who's always trying to lick 2 clits at the same time, but
But
never
just-
find the time?
Are we doing the infomercial? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like
you're doing.
why are there so many clits?
Is being in a throuple hard?
So because you'd have the first before like black and white shot of the guy,
Yeah.
going, and then both women like walking away.
Yeah, looking really
Walking away
annoyed.
holding hands because they're gonna
Yeah.
lick each other's
Yeah.
clits.
Oh no!
They don't need me.
Is
While
your
you're in your
wife's
throuple, they might
stepmother-
turn into lesbians.
Is your wife's stepmother coming to stay for the weekend?
Yeah, exactly. 1 in 6 British men are very afraid of this particular scenario.
Yeah, licking one clit is bad enough.
And then at the end, you just see him get up, like completely covered in wet with the thumbs up. Hey!
And then because of the tongue at the end, he goes, "Thank you, Turkey."
Was this a travel ad? Is it an infomercial put on by the government of Turkey?
Yeah. Thank you to the Turkey Tourism Board.
Yeah. The Turkish Tourist Board believe passionately in you eating pussy better.
Yeah.
Not better, just twice as much.
Yeah, higher hit rate.
Still
Yeah.
Twice
bad.
as
Still
much.
bad. That's the
Still
problem.
not
Yeah,
good.
so that's the twice as much, but in exactly the same amount of time. We're mostly a throughput oriented.
Yeah. And if I turn my head sideways, on one woman I can do the shocker with only my tongue.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Eating ass and pussy at the same time. What a...
Tasting
I didn't
both.
even say I wanted to get the tongue split. That was the first thing I could think of. Because I was like, what would get you ready for like a Mad Max?
What about those people who have the plastic surgery to make
Mad Max
themselves-
is your name after they split your tongue.
Yeah.
Sorry. what were you gonna say?
The people who get the surgery to make themselves look like dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got the split tongue. They got the horn implants. It's like ball bearings under their skin.
Or like cats. Those
cat
are-
people.
Oh. Or like the eye change. Have you ever seen someone have ink in their eye, like the whites of their eyes, so their whole eyes look black?
What the hell?
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
weird.
so squeamish that if I ever met someone who was like, sort of did some kind of like that level of body modification, I don't think I'd be able to like sit still. Like, I can't even have surgery described to me.
You just immediately start going down on them. I couldn't even look at them without wanting to lick them out.
Well, it's a defense mechanism. You know,
Yeah.
some people deflect with humor, other people deflect with cunnilingus. That's
It's like that woman who fended off a burglar by starting to blow him. My hero.
Really?
Yeah.
And her family escaped while she was doing it.
Oh my god.
It's not
I
what
think she
you
was
would
featured
expect.
in this magazine here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would get a, you know, like a cartoon, like Dick and Balls, like school kids draw. You get one on the white of your eye.
I thought you were going to say you'd have yours replaced with a...
I thought you were
squiggly drawing.
like a 2D bang.
When I bring
Yeah.
in like a Dick and Balls from like a graffitied child's homework to the plastic surgeon. I want it to look like this. No real differentiation between shaft and ball.
Yeah.
Just a kind of cloud.
Yeah, they do it and they show you the back of it and you're like, yep, cheers. Yeah.
I want the urethra to unaccountably run down the entire helmet to the base.
Yeah.
It's like it's in half.
No, I think
Like this drawing here that this other surgeon did.
How would it be? Would it be like one of those super soakers that comes out like 5 sides or something like that?
Yeah. I want exactly 7 pubes. I want it to be faithful to this artistic vision.
Yeah.
And they got to curl. You got to curl them.
Yeah.
The
That's
pubes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very important.
Is there any other freaky? Did people have tails put in?
Oh yeah, big time.
Mm.
How do you do
like a grafting, I assume.
grafting from what?
It's just like a chain of sausages from the butcher. They just...
I doubt it. You could just like get some loose cartilage and just sort of beat it on to some.
A good idea never starts with you just get some loose cartilage and I think we're cooking.
I thought you were suggesting that as my fucked up plastic surgery tissues. Just
Or,
walk in
like,
and go,
take one
just
off a
loosen up the
horse.
cartilage generally. I'm feeling a little
Take one off a
cramped.
horse.
What cartilage?
But the body will reject, no?
Probably.
Just take one
Maybe
off
your
a horse.
weakest body, my horse blood.
Maybe
Body will reject.
the body will reject, no?
Could we take the horse's cartilage and put human skin on it?
Well, they're having to graft it from somewhere else. I'm sorry, sir. We had to use your entire penis in the tail operation.
I don't mean to
Just poking it through to the other side.
I don't mean to interrupt. What is this podcast?
At no point will we sort of introduce anything.
Well, it was like, come down, have fun. I was like, okay, 5 minutes in, we can do something on loose cartilage, can't we?
Yeah, what about a horse tail?
Yeah. Our guest every time takes one of these surgeries and we see what they look like with it.
Yeah.
What about a longer bumhole?
Okay.
I mean, you've seen Nish Kumar now. You know what looks different about him.
What are you talking about?
He's got a long bum. What?
He's got a long bum hole.
Oh, we gave him that surgery after he came on the show.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought genuinely he'd famously had surgery and I'd missed it.
What, Horse Kumar? Yes.
Yeah.
Old horsetail Nish.
What if you got a long bumhole for greater accuracy?
Oh,
Like
But
a-
would
so
it be
it's
great
kind of like a
accuracy when you
penis.
want a small...
Oh, you don't mean
Yeah.
you don't mean long like this.
Okay.
You mean long like this.
Yeah, not like John Lennon's arse crack, like a
Oh,
long...
that's wild. Yeah,
The
that
bigger
video,
the
yeah.
butthole, the harder it is to keep it tight.
I don't mean wider.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like long, like a spout.
Oh, right. So it comes like a penis for your
So
bum.
it's an Audi. An
What?
It's an
Audi.
outie. An outie.
Yeah.
I've got my
Why do you-
bum's an outie.
But that's a prolapse. That's a serious medical
No, but
condition.
they've done it so it's fine.
Yeah, it's actually
So
it's
what-
an extension.
Do you know
So
what?
it's the
do you know what
G-spot
my
on the
ick is?
outside of you now.
That's why he's pretending it's accuracy.
It all should still be in there.
A
It's just that
long
it's
prostate,
a
that's an
long-
Audi.
A long. No, ideally that stays in.
Uh-huh.
So
Sense of adventure.
Does it have
when
some
you say
sort of-
for greater accuracy, what sort of accuracy are you envisaging? Like, what are the accuracy problems that
Also,
are
how are
currently...
you-
Just
how
go
you
straight into
shitting-
the water and the.
How are you
okay.
shitting at the moment?
No
Is it
skid
just...
Just
Well,
splashing too
yeah.
much.
Frankly, more recklessly than I would with a longer bumhole.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
have a
Just
real
be going straight in.
you'd have a problem in the Netherlands though,
Why is that?
because the Dutch toilet design is so different from ours.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you,
The
and I
Dutch
don't want
toilet
to
is
start a fight, but you
unknowable.
really upset me.
Hey, you asked for bad plastic surgery ideas. I'm doing my best.
I had an
Bumhole.
observation about Shakespeare, and then we were talking about long bumholes.
Okay, sorry, back to Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The long 19th
He was a character,
bumhole.
wasn't he? Yeah. Why long bumhole? Quickly.
He was the first one that said long bumhole.
yeah, that was it. Children must not hear long bumhole. Bumhole, quiet.
Yeah. Those ladies didn't even know what a bumhole was.
They didn't. They
Quiet.
didn't.
We're very repressed right now.
Yeah.
They were scared every time they took a shit. They thought demons were exiting their body.
And they
to
are.
prey on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but before A24 did its turn to mass market movies. But
Stop
surely-
bringing it
Long
up. Jesus, yeah.
and it's in the 500 years of those plays being performed, did like in the 1750s, was there their version of Romeo plus Juliet, where it would be like, we're doing one that's about the Corn Laws, like a King Lear, but about the Corn Laws.
Oh, were they still doing like the
Yeah.
fucking around
Yeah,
adaptations?
that's fun. I like that.
Yeah, because it's like, oh hey, we've done a new version of Macbeth, but with cavaliers and roundheads, like is happening now. That's relevant to our time.
Yeah, that's fun.
with like a matchlock pistol.
Like Napoleon.
Yeah. That would be a really good like Lear.
I like that
And
a
they
lot.
were still getting the shitty reviews they get to this day.
Six formers at some country fair performing a version of Henry V, but it's set in the East India Company. And they're like, oh, the fucking fringe.
Yeah.
'Cause it was smart because I was speaking today with the friend who was like, oh yeah, I went to go see the new Romeo and Juliet, and I walked out because it was so terrible at the drill rap part.
No,
They
man.
put a drill rep part
He
in.
was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
That's my favorite bit.
So, like in the 20s, did we do a Bonnie and Clyde with like a taming of the shrew with a Tommy gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
And The Merchant of Venice is gay. I've never read Merchant.
But
Yeah.
why not?
Why not do one like that?
I walked out of the Merchant of Venice when the Flapper Girls came on.
It's too trendy for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
It's just
God.
it's no good.
Mhm. Oh, we've lost a mic.
I have that effect on men. Am I right? Come on, guys.
yeah.
Come on.
I don't think they did do that. I think they were literally like because they didn't they not get performed for like 200 years? They had to sort of get rediscovered in the 1800s.
Got
People
cancelled.
Yeah, Shakespeare was cancelled.
But controversial take, aren't most of Shakespeare's plays remakes themselves?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So in a way,
He's the first of these.
No one knew
He's the
who
first
Julius
Baz
Caesar
Luhrmann.
was. Until Shakes
He
came
bought the
along.
rights to Julius Caesar. That's what he did.
But
Like,
for hundreds of years, they were like, why would we do these old plays? Fuck that shit. And then the revival started sometime in the 1800s, and it's
So like we wouldn't have gotten like a Corn Laws Macbeth, or we wouldn't have gotten like Cavaliers and Roundheads Lear, but we might have gotten an East India Company Twelfth Night,
yes.
basically.
Why did they
Twelfth
stop?
Night, She's the Man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
Why did they stop performing them?
They just sort of moved on naturally from them, I think. They just sort of went, oh, that's... and
Like
then-
Marvel.
Yeah, they
In
just...
200 years, Marvel's going to be back.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, it won't go away. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, school kids are going to be like, oh, fucking Captain America for GCSE. It's so boring. It's not relevant, miss. Doing a whole thing.
It's so stupid that they've tried to make Captain America more relevant to the 2230s by replacing all of the like blue laser beams with rocks and whatever remnants of civilization you could kind of scrounge together.
Well, Captain America is like a god to them. That's how they understand him in the 2230s.
Yeah, they thought he was a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
They
the
have to have World War II explained to them. It'd be like, he fought the Nazi... and it's going to be so context heavy for kids. They'll be so bored by it.
Yeah.
we have to update it for now. You know, it's like it's like the bike raiders that come and steal our generator every once and again. You know?
Yeah. Also, you're just describing like the English countryside, like people on motorbikes nicking your generator. It's
That's
like,
Riley's idea of dystopia. That's what it is.
like,
Imagine.
that's just Buckinghamshire.
Yeah, and there's only one pub. It's like...
What is this Mad Max dystopia?
yeah, how can people live like this?
Yeah.
What
There's
is this?
no restaurants with Michelin stars.
Actually, that's not true. There are tons in the British countryside, and all of them are supposed to be really nice.
Oh, not this.
I'm sorry, it was my fault that time. I made it happen.
It would be so difficult to create like a list of advice for guests for this, where it's like, don't mention Joseph Fritzl or Michelin-starred restaurants. Don't ask me why, don't say them.
Yeah. Asking why is a bad start.
Ripping up my Joseph Fritzl note there. There you go.
Oh, the new Michelin guide is out. Let's see what they have in Austria. Do you want to hear about Take a Break magazine?
Yes.
I was going to say, actually, we have a listener question.
Oh, do we?
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Fuck you, Take a Break magazine.
Yeah, well,
We'll get to you at the
Take a
end.
Break magazine. Yeah. Question from Esme.
A nice branded note card.
Yeah, there we go. Look. This is a high budget production now. This is where your Patreon money goes. Is this shit? Esme says, if you had the chance to work with any famous puppet, which would you choose?
Oh my God, this is the greatest question I've ever received in my entire life.
I'm going to say I don't know loads of famous puppets.
Do you remember that
You
dog
know
that
them all
MTV
kind of like
had
under
for
the
a while that
radar, the
smoked a cigar?
underground, like puppets on the come up, but like only
Indie
people in the
puppets.
know.
Trouble the rude dog. What was he called?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Trouble the rude dog.
I
Yeah,
don't.
Trouble the rude dog?
The thing is, I've only ever was exposed to it via Russian dubbing, so I don't think any of the jokes ever actually translated. But I thought it was quite camp for a TV channel to have its own insult comic Muppet.
He had like a bow tie, like a ruff or something.
And he definitely had a cigar. It was a
The funny thing is, Canada had its own version of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. Also, just calling him Trouble the Rude Dog
Trouble the
reminds me of something that I was talking to my girlfriend, and one of the two of us made some reference to the show Wacky Races, and she was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's just like from Wacky Races," trying to think of course, Dick Dastardly and his dog Muttley. came up with Dastardly Dan and his dog Mutton. Which
It's the rip-off Halloween costume name.
Dastardly Dan and Mutton. But no,
they're like doing a little ironic bit, like when someone has a cat called Beef or something. Like, this is my dog, but it's named after sheep
naming
meat.
a cat Beef is it's such a mustache tattooed on the finger thing to do.
Oh, I've not thought about a mustache tattooed on a finger for a while.
Yeah.
Still winding you up, Riley.
Oh, I can't stand it. But no, we had a Canadian Triumph the Insult comic dog.
It was very polite.
Called Ed the Sock, who is now just a Zionist. That's his main thing.
Wait, what? Is he not the puppeteer person, like the puppet is gone Zionist?
Well, because the puppet is the only public face of the puppeteer. And so
where does it get a platform to be Zionist?
Much Music, our version of MTV, is where it came from.
Much Music is the most Canadian name for MTV I could think of.
Much Music.
Much Music. They got all sorts over there.
Yeah, do you have not much music? We have much music.
Very much sort of naming...
Don't worry about it. Loads of music, very polite puppet, appropriate for children and adults too.
Don't worry, it's not an insult comic. It does smoke a cigar.
We got your Shania
The
Twain.
puppet, so Ed the Sock it's a mean puppet
Bryan
that
Adams?
smokes a cigar.
goodness
We
me.
got all the music.
Yeah.
It looks sort of like a South Park character. That I think.
It's a mean sock that smokes a cigar and wears a Hawaiian shirt. And it's sort of a rude.
Did the guy who did Triumph die?
I'm going to look up Triumph. You keep talking about
It
Canada.
also, Ed the Sock sounds like it would be the name of like one of those like Nazi YouTubers.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like a guy who's actually just called for a genocide, but his name is Ed the Sock for some reason.
So Stephen Kurtzner is a Canadian actor, producer, and television personality, best known for his portrayal of Ed the Sock, originally appearing on Much Music until its decline in 2013. The other funny thing is he was on City TV, which this is for a very small number of people. City TV,
not City TV, City TV.
It's the show, the movie Videodrome.
Sure.
Never mind. It's what the TV channel in the movie Videodrome was based on. There we go. Ed the Sock was on this music channel who as sort of an insulting, rude sock. Who was then they got rid of him in 2013, but Kurtzner kept on.
It was finally cancelled.
Yeah, they finally got the sock. They lost it in the wash. Then started a new media initiative called the FU Network.
Wow.
That's cool. That's like what a 10-year-old
There's quite
would
a
do.
good thing about socks being sort of racist or something, because there's something about, like, you know, keeping your white socks out from the rest of your coloured socks, like in a wash. Like, I think so. Maybe it's sort of related to that.
Yeah.
Saying you don't know many famous puppets.
I don't
This cannot
think
be
so.
true.
Well, I don't think so. No.
And
I mean,
Muppets? That's at least 20 in one go.
how many I could name? I got Kermit,
Yeah.
Miss Piggy,
Mm-hmm.
Beaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting
The
that
two
that's
Statler
number 3.
Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf were on
Yeah.
5. Who's Beaker's boss?
Triumph ran for president in 2004.
You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah, in 2016 though.
This is just classic Canadian small stake stuff, because Ed the Sock ran for Parliament as a Conservative in 1990.
Oh, wow.
Interesting that the rude sock is a conservative.
Well, no, the rude
Right,
sock
right.
became a sort of strident, sort of like NAFO liberal in the 20-teens.
Does anyone else remember the name of Beaker's boss? I feel he's always overlooked.
Professor Bunsen?
Bunsen who?
Burner?
No.
No.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Bunsen
Use
Honeydew.
his full
Because he
name, thank
invented
you.
the melon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show him some fucking respect.
That's Professor Honeydew to
You
you.
know how much he's achieved with that useless assistant?
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's the head of a department too. He's not just a lecturer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
never been able to pick anything up. I mean, that's an incredible thing in the lab.
Yeah.
Just with his eyes, just 2 black buttons. He's perceived the universe far greater than you'll ever perceive it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 5. So I could go 5 of the Muppets.
5's
but-
pretty good.
Those are Muppets. And then
Those
we
are
have
Muppets.
Sesame Street.
Then there's Sesame
Oh,
Street.
yeah.
Not
Those
that
guys.
anymore.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
well, they
also
weren't real?
Muppets?
Oh, sorry.
No, I think those are 2.
Not legally, not in the eyes
Sesame
of God.
Street.
They're not legally
Because they're not
Muppets.
Jim Henson. Are they Jim Henson?
They
They
are
are.
the same
Se-
word.
Yeah.
Sesame Street is Jim Henson. But they're separate from... Because Muppets are for adults and Sesame Street is for kids.
Muppets,
The
are for
Muppets I watch.
adults?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Muppets I
Muppets,
watch, believe
Muppets
me.
are for adults.
Are you kidding me?
That's why
Have
they
you
always-
seen
You ever watched
how
the Muppets?
curvilicious Miss Piggy is?
Are you telling me you haven't fucked Miss Piggy?
The Muppet
Wait.
Show was like a sort of SNL type show. Not explicitly adult, but it wasn't for kids.
Right,
It's like an
okay.
evening like sketch show.
Oh.
Huh.
Like spitting image is not for kids either, you know.
No. Spitting images for people who struggle processing the world, but yeah, they're not strictly children.
How difficult would it be in post to replace us with puppets for the entire episode?
We could commission Muppets of
could that
ourselves,
be?
you know.
Could you do that just like
Chat
like
GPT it or whatever?
What if?
Note that Tom, the producer, is making a money counting gesture. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's a good gesture.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
That's
the-
it goes sideways.
Yeah, this is the yes puppet gesture.
I could do it with 2
You
fingers.
can commission a Muppet of yourself.
Oh, really? How
Yeah.
much would that set you back?
I think it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like a physical Muppet.
Like a usable puppet, like a usable one.
Mhm.
Like
What
the-
would you use it for?
That's between me and the
I
Lord.
was gonna say, yeah.
Well, there you go. Sign
Well,
up
it's
for the
either
Pretty
Patreon.
a
and-
Muppet
I'd
God.
say- here's the thing: it's either get the Muppet or get the tongue split surgery. You know, which one do you want him to do?
Yeah.
Then there are 2 types of people in this world. There's people who get tongue split, people who get them up.
Yeah. I think.
One of you, boy.
Which one are you? Yeah,
One of
you
you
gotta
want
make that
me?
decision now, boy.
Yeah. I think I'd want to work with Sooty and Sweep. That was a
Yeah.
crazy show.
Lest we forget, when we were just making you name American puppets, you must have an archival
Well, Silly
recollection
and
of
Sweep
British.
I would have gone for, but
Were they?
Yeah.
after-
Good British puppets.
yeah,
bloody British
proper
puppet.
proper
Yeah.
puppets. When you could have puppets on TV.
Proper British
Are they from
Yeah.
CBBC? Who are they?
Oh, predate that probably. I think they're from the 20th century mainly.
they're like early 90s, 80s.
Yeah.
It was set in Manchester.
sort of go around like that. They're
Tiny.
They're one of those tiny hand puppets.
Yeah, so there was
Oh,
a
okay.
man with a mustache and a comb over who would do all of the puppets. And it's amazing that as a child you don't realize that the man is operating the puppets. I think because I think in retrospect it's incredibly obvious. But unlike the Muppets, the man is visible and he's like talking to the puppets, but kind of like doing it like on the table like this with the hand puppets.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's Sooty and Sweep, a panda called Sue, and little cousin Scampy too, of course, as the theme song will tell
Spokojnej
you.
Nocy Malishi. Is that kind of like that?
I've never seen
That's
that.
what I was going to say.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. There's a
Yeah.
Russian bedtime show for kids that's very, very similar. That it's like
okay.
it's bedtime stories, and I'm pretty sure there is that you are.
It's at a table. Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah, this is more of a like daytime capering type show.
Okay.
Time capering.
Yeah, but
That's one of
the
the subcategories of the Edinburgh Fringe program.
yeah.
The comedy / daytime capering.
yeah. Well, we just stick to the daytime capering mainly. I mean, it's just such fun for the family.
We love going to the show where they sort of semi-improvise what Shakespeare would have been like if it was about the East India Company.
Yeah.
And then there's one of them that's drunk while they're doing it.
well, no one talks about a long bum hole
Uh-huh.
in that show.
No, not in daytime. It's nighttime capering.
I'm just picturing
Yeah.
a spout, and I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like an inner tube from a car tire. Just
Yeah.
just coming out the bottom.
I used to like butts, you know.
It would really make. I used to like butts, and I cannot
Pre-spout
lie.
butts were great.
You kids won't
Yeah.
know this, but
Yeah,
back when
yeah.
there were no spout butts.
Yeah, but then we
These
evolved.
sproutsies coming over here.
So is there no innie at all? Are the cheeks still there, or is it all just out?
The cheek's still there.
Like an exhaust pipe.
How'd you dress then? Is it popping out all the time, or is it?
You just tuck it like a penis.
Was it like a nipple?
I guess you'd tuck it or roll it up.
Roll it up.
Roll it
Well,
up.
like one of those like party blower things.
Yeah, like
like,
party blow. Thank you. Now we get.
when you fart, it takes on a sort of comical.
Yeah, trying to hide a fart. Coming out of the back of you.
Although if
Having a
you-
whoopee cushion installed in your ass. Yeah.
Although if the bumhole was long enough, you're in an important meeting. You need to fart, but you don't want to ruin it. You just under the door.
Yeah.
That you want that long a bumhole.
That long a bumhole.
It's like
But
a
also-
fireman's hose.
Also prehensile as well.
Well, you're just
Yeah.
discreetly trying to sort of roll it under the door.
And then
Yeah.
at night, you could tuck your penis into the hole of the long butthole and come inside.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
why?
Mm.
Why?
Oh, now we're asking why?
Everything else made sense, Olga, and you had to go and make it weird.
Now we're asking why. Fuck off.
I think you're
Yeah.
imagining a more like
Loose?
rigid, meaty thing than I'm imagining. I'm imagining something that's like a kind
I'm
of flappy
imagining like
tube.
an elephant trunk. So obviously you'd want to put your
Oh,
penis
something-
inside an elephant
something you
trunk.
could like steal a tourist hat with. Just using nothing but
Doing
the power
tricks.
of your ass.
One of those good time, so it's like positive videos that go around like this guy's bumhole played with these tourists.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's just playing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's just playing.
Giving a Japanese man back his camera, the bumhole just descends from the top of the shot.
Watch this long bumhole man remember the keepers who raised him.
No!
Yeah, the
It's a
bumhole's
man with a
flapping.
huge bumhole sprinting across the Serengeti once he realizes it's them. It's those guys who had him in their apartment.
The bumhole trainers.
He jumps on them and then he remembers. They
Yeah.
don't forget.
And then just speaking them completely normally. Just like, yeah, not much, you.
Steven! He's just really, what are you doing out here in the wild?
You'd make a good living on Leicester Square.
Embracing them with his long bumhole.
And then at night in Soho, Riley.
Hmm.
Various
Well, just
cabaret style shows.
So you're sort of going to take Soho from being like Simmons Bar back to like what it might have been in like the 70s.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Or,
Through the sheer power of
Yeah.
one very odd plastic surgery.
Yeah,
One
bumhole
very long butthole.
called through the back door.
Yeah.
this
You're like,
true
we're
spirit of Soho.
We're shutting down the Simmons and other similar
I
establishments
think you're doing
here.
a double act because it essentially becomes your little puppet. So it talks, and you talk, and you're in
Oh.
conversation.
You and Bummy.
Oh, your breath's not very nice. You do all those jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be rude.
Yeah, at least I've got
well.
a reason shit comes out of my mouth. Hey,
You
Bummy,
very
cut
good.
it out.
You
Bummy.
can't have no more fibre for you. I'm
I'm gonna have a curry. Okay. I mean, it started off like a bad idea, but I think we actually
Yeah.
should make this now.
I'm going to drink 12 pints of Guinness and then you'll be sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all talked ourselves round to the long bum.
Yeah. I think we should all get one.
Mocked me.
And that's what they call nighttime capering. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to the Bumhole show. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's got 5 stars.
Look, I thought it was a little bit derivative of puppetry of the penis, ventriloquism of the bumhole, but it's much more exciting.
I love the idea of like the surgeon being sort of on one level proud of it because it is a real plastic surgery achievement to have given a man such a long prehensile bumhole. But on the other hand, being like, I'm not sure if I can include this in my portfolio because it will be off-putting to other customers.
Yeah.
Bumhole doctor.
Do you think that that's plastic surgeon if he was at like a party, like a sort of
Yeah.
he's having a dinner party or something, and his friend introduces him to someone, and they say, "You'll never guess. You know the man with the long bumhole?" And the surgeon's like, "Oh no, and the guy's like, he did it. That was one of his patients." And then if you're the surgeon, you have to do that thing where you hold off on your own tone and how you talk until you can discern if the other person likes the long bumhole man or not. You go,
I worked on it. Yeah, I worked on it. Yeah, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah. And then the guy goes, "Yeah, I love that show." And you go, "Yeah, thank you."
The long bumhole man reminds me a lot of Spitting Image the musical, actually, which I loved.
And then the guy's like, that guy scares me. And you go, "Oh, yeah.
weird.
Well, I have to, if the patient wants it. Then.
I talked him down from 16 feet. The fact that it's 14 and a half, that's all me.
He was going to be all bumhole. He's like a sleeping bag.
All bumhole
Defense
like
mechanism.
a sleeping
He
bag.
gets an awkward
What a
situation.
sentence.
You know when you're in a
He's
sleeping
retreated
bag?
into his bumhole.
You're in a sleeping bag, it's cold, you don't want to unzip, so you have to hop. You're in the sleeping bag, it's up to here. That's what he wanted his whole life to be like. He liked that.
He wanted to have like one big foreskin.
Yeah, they call it the reverse nappy, is what they call it.
Oh no.
Boy.
Oh no.
I am so upset right
Yeah, it's all pretty bad.
Yeah.
You really opened Pandora's long bumhole here with this surgery conversation.
God damn.
The one that like hope is the last thing left in Pandora's long bumhole. And they're like, keep it, got no more from you. And she's like, no, please.
I must open it.
Yeah.
I can swim there, no doubt, but I can't hold my breath. That's the problem.
The pressure of 3,000 meters below sea level would be
Don't bother
fine.
me. Don't bother me, that pressure. I've been under more pressure than that. You ever done regional marketing? I've been under more pressure than that. You know what I mean? Titanic, easy.
You ever had to eat out your wife and her stepmother at the same time? Come on, son.
I've been to greater depths in a Titanic. I'll leave it at that.
Milo, what's yours?
I don't know. I don't know if this fits properly, but it would be super fun to like get like the full like hot Essex woman surgery, just for like the purposes, not for the purposes of being transgender, but just for the purposes of seeing life from that perspective.
I think
But specifically going as trashy as possible. Like I
Crazy
want to
filler.
So always big lips, big bum, big boobs, fake tan,
taking it too far.
everything face pulled back. and
Yeah,
all that.
I'm dressing entirely in juicy couture. Yeah.
Well, you can do that now.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that, and I do
Yeah,
sometimes
good stuff.
when I'm in the privacy of my own home.
You love a little cropped hoodie.
Yeah, the cropped hoodie. That is an interesting one.
A cropped fuzzy hoodie. You could wear that.
Yeah.
You could switch out your car for a white Range Rover.
I could. I'm not sure I could afford the maintenance, but if there was some. Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that
could do
claims a lot of lives.
It does claim a lot of lives.
Yeah.
It's like the
Everybody
song.
looked at me. It's true.
They should start
Is
putting
life
up.
worth living with a flat
They
ass?
should start putting up stone obelisk memorials to people we've lost to the Brazilian butt lift, like it's World War One.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
They
in,
just see
like,
lots of
town
stones
centres around
over
the UK.
over the grass. It's like, these are all the bums that were lost.
Chelsea Berkby has an amazing bit where she's like, if the mortality rate is so high, they should start doing it instead of euthanasia in countries where euthanasia is illegal.
We've got to give grandma a fat ass.